Hello and welcome to Austin Anderson Sports Talk. Let's once again start in the NFL, where the Indianapolis Colts defeated Peyton Manning and the Broncos. But while they won the game, a loss of Reggie Wayne may be more significant. So the top two receivers for the Colts are basically slot guys, Darius Heyward-Bey and second-year receiver T.Y. Hilton. And after acquiring Trent Richardson, they don't really have any ammunition to trade for a wide receiver, such as Hakeem Nicks or Josh Gordon. So they're kind of stuck like this. Peyton Manning, it was a very emotional week. He admitted it. He wasn't totally focused on the game. And you could tell. I mean, he threw an interception. He still had impressive numbers, over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. But you could tell there was something different. Our power rankings look like this. Somewhat by default, the Kansas City Chiefs are number 1 after going 7-0 the first 7 weeks of the season. Their blueprint for success is rather simple. They play really good defense, they run the ball really well, and they don't turn the ball over. That's how you win football games in the National Football League. 5-2 are the Indianapolis Colts. They've got 5 wins, 3 of them against 3 of the other 5 teams in my top 5. The Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Broncos. While they lost to the Dolphins and the Chargers, those aren't bad teams, but it's more about the level of wins than the level of their losses. Number 3 are the 6-1 Broncos, who still, I believe, talent-wise, are the best team in the league. 6-1 Seahawks, who are the number 1 team in the NFC. And 5, the 49ers, who have won 4 straight after starting off 1-2. Major League Baseball, where, as I'm sure you all watched my last podcast, I correctly predicted the World Series of the Tigers and the Dodgers. Right? No, I was wrong. On both leagues, kind of embarrassing. Which is why I say with great confidence that I think the St. Louis Cardinals will win this series. Which is exactly why I am picking the Boston Red Sox in 7 games. And lastly, we have the NBA section of our show, where we have an NBA preview. The Heat have won back-to-back NBA championships and are destined for a dynasty? Maybe. They're at my number 1 spot in the Eastern Conference, followed by the 2 seed Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose coming back, Luol Deng, Joakim Noah, Carlos Boozer, Jimmy Butler. They're really good. And they can challenge the Heat with the size inside. But another team that can challenge the Heat, the Indiana Pacers, who have Paul George, who legitimately is an MVP candidate this year. Roy Hibbert is monstrous at 7'3" inside. David West is crafty. Danny Granger, Lance Stevenson at the 2 guard, and George Hill at the 1. They're a really good team, and they're at 3rd. Following them is the Brooklyn Nets, who, yes, have acquired an aging Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry. But they're still really good players. And to put them aside, Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, and Brook Lopez, and the overpaid Chris Humphries, who, I'm sorry, dude. I mean, Kanye's got that thing on lockdown. 5th is the Knicks, who really aren't that good, but they still have Carmelo Anthony. And 6th is the Detroit Pistons, yes. If Brandon Jennings can become a pass-first point guard, Detroit could become the new Lob City with Andre Drummond, Josh Smith, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. 7 is the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a huge if, but if Andrew Bynum stays healthy, they could make noise. In the 8th seed, you guessed it, the Washington Wizards. What? Yeah, they have young talent. First round pick, Otto Porter Jr., to go along with John Wall, and last year's first round pick, the shooting guard out of Florida, Bradley Beal. This team's young, and they could make noise, or they could bust. And out west, I have the Los Angeles Clippers in the number 1 spot. You're telling me I can have Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, perimeter shooters like Jared Dudley and JJ Redick, to go with a strong defender on the inside, DeAndre Jordan, a good bench, Jamal Crawford, Darren Collison, to go with the best head coach in the league, Doc Rivers, it's tough to turn down. 2 is those Spurs of Kawhi Leonard, who is quickly emerging as a star in this league. 3rd is the Oklahoma City Thunder, who aren't great, don't really have a lot of bench depth, and Kendrick Perkins is on the court, so that's never good. But they have the second best player in the league, Kevin Durant, and if Westbrook can hurry up and get back healthy, they'll still make noise. 4th is Dwight Howard and the Houston Rockets. James Harden is an elite player in the league, and so is Dwight Howard, but it might take a month or 2 to get accustomed to playing all together and running Kevin McHale's offense. So I've got them at the 4 seed, followed by the Memphis Grizzlies, who strength is on the inside with Z-Bo and Marc Gasol, but Z-Bo's getting old. 6 is the Denver Nuggets, who yes, lost Andre Iguodala, but they're still young. Kenneth Faried, Ty Lawson, Evan Fournier, shooter on the outside. They can still get up and down the court, and they have an emerging head coach who is just itching to show off his talent. 7th is Andre Iguodala and the Golden State Warriors. They basically gave away all their bench depth in the offseason, but they did get Iguodala, and honestly, they'll be a lot better if Andrew Bogut plays. He's the X factor on this team. 8th is Ricky Rubio, Kevin Lowe, Nikolai Pekovic, your favorite, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, who I expect to make the playoffs and get ousted in the first round. So the MVP this year, LeBron James, yes, wins it again. I know, not exciting, kind of boring, but he's the greatest player of our generation. And when it's all said and done, he will make a debate out of the greatest player of all time. Rookie of the Year, another popular pick, Victor Oladipo, the 2nd overall pick of the Orlando Magic. He's a really good defender, and he's improving with the ball and his shooting. On a bad team, he's going to be the go-to guy. But finally, what you've all been waiting for, the NBA Finals prediction. The Heat. Yes, they make it, but they will be legitimately challenged by the Bulls or the Pacers, particularly the Pacers. I think Paul George could shut him down, and Roy Hibbert could dominate the inside. And they go up against the surprising Doc Rivers-led Los Angeles Clippers. And the results are in. The Los Angeles Clippers fall victim to the Miami Heat 3-peat. That's it for this week's show, folks. Enjoy the NBA season, enjoy the World Series, and hope you enjoy watching some football. Don't take things for granted, and do what you can to help others.
Eu sou do tipo que faz o Lúcifer gritar, Deus nos acuda. Reencarnação perfeita e podre do Pablo Neruda. Cresci comprando playboys com moedas que roubei do Buda. Virei um adulto que deixa vadia dependente.